Hello friends, my name is Shanti Dugar. In this video, I will explain the concept of coefficient of correlation. The video will cover the basic concept of correlation. What do you mean by it? What is the statistical formula to calculate the correlation coefficient? And how we can use the coefficient correlation in finance. And this I will explain with an example. And then finally, I will conclude with explaining the difference between covariance and coefficient of correlation. So now let's go to the concept of coefficient of correlation, how it is calculated and what is the basic concept. So correlation is commonly defined as a mutual relationship between the two things or two variables. So it shows a connection how one variable move vis-a-vis the movement in other variables and the degree to which it moves. So it also shows not only the direction of the relationship, but it shows the degree of relationship also. For example, we can compare the linear relationship between two quantitative variables such as height and weight using the correlation coefficient. So when two variables move in the same direction, we call these variables are positively correlated. When they move in opposite direction, we call them that these variables are negatively correlated. And when they don't move, there no dependency of one variable with another, or they are neutral, then we call it there is zero correlation or no correlation between the two variables. So the degree or magnitude of change movement of one variable with the change movement of other variable will determine how strong these variables are correlated to each other, and it can have the maximum value of 1 and the lowest value of -1. So basically all the coefficient of correlation ranges between +1 to -1. A value correlation coefficient value of 1 will signify that the variables have perfect positive correlation. That means if one variable goes down by 5%, another variable will also go down by 5%. If one variable goes up by 7%, another variable will also go up by 7%. So that's called exact perfectly positive correlation between the two variables. The second value could be either 0, which means that there is no correlation, or in other words, the variables are totally independent of each other. They have no relationship between them. The third value, which could go as low as -1, that means it is called perfect negative correlation. That means the variables move totally in opposite direction. So if one variable goes up by 5%, the another will go down by 5%. On the contrary, if the first variable goes up by 5%, the another will go down by 5%. So like that, there is a perfect negative correlation between the two. However, one should understand that correlation does not mean causation. So if two variables are correlated, that does not mean necessarily that one movement in one is the cause of movement in others. That's not necessarily true. Correlation only assesses relationship between the variables, and there may be different factors that lead to the relationship. So they should not be construed as that correlation. One correlation, perfect correlation means there is a cause and effect relationship between the two. Now let's understand how the coefficient of correlation is calculated statistically. The formula is, the numerator is same as covariance, summation of x minus x bar times y minus y bar, and the denominator is under root of sum of x minus x bar squared times sum of y minus y bar squared, or we can also say the sigma x and sigma y. So we can simply say the covariance of x and y divided by sigma x sigma y is the coefficient of correlation. So where rho xy is the correlation between correlation coefficient of the linear relationship between variable x and y. Xi is the value of x variable in a sample. X bar is the mean of the x variable. yi is the value of the y variable in a sample, and y bar is the mean of the values of the y variable. So in order to calculate the correlation, we can list down the following steps which we have to take in chronological order. So first of all, obtain a data sample with the values of x and y variables. Second step is to calculate the mean of x values, that is called x bar, and mean of y values, that is called y bar. From that mean, the uh, subtract the x variable from that mean for each value, and same thing do for y variables. So basically x minus x bar and y minus y bar for each x value. Then fourth step is multiply each of such difference with each other. So x minus x bar is multiplied by y minus y bar for each value, and then sum of these multiplication becomes the numerator in our formula, that is here. This becomes this step 4 result. Now square each a value is basically this one, x minus x bar, which we calculated and denoted here value, new value as a, and y minus y bar we call it new value as b. So we have to square each a and b separately. So we will get a squared, that is equal to x minus x bar squared, and b squared is equal to y minus y bar squared, and then take a sum of that and multiply the result of the last step with step 6, and then take the square root of that value obtained in the previous step. This becomes our denominator in the formula. Here it is. So here we can say denominator is sum of x minus x bar squared times sum of y minus y bar squared, and this whole thing is taken as square root. So we will get sigma x and sigma y by doing this, and divide this denominator by the numerator, which is here. So let's see with an example here. Taking the same example of S&P 500, we took the value here and delta limited price as y variable. So we had the value here. Now x minus x bar, which we calculated in the previous step for calculating covariance, we get the difference of each x value with the x bar and each y value with the y bar. So we get x minus x bar here as a and y minus y bar as equal to b. We got the difference, and in step 4 we multiply x minus x bar times y minus y bar each value. So we get here 13,875, which becomes our numerator here for the formula here. Now to calculate the denominator, what we have to do, column 4, which is the value of a, which we calculated as x minus x bar, we square it. So all a squared equals to this each value, and similarly in step 6 we square the value of b each value, which is basically y minus y bar squared. So we get each value here, and then take a total of summation of a square and summation of b square, and then we multiply this summation with this summation. So we get a value of this much, and the under root of this value 218166667 is 14770. So this 14770 becomes our denominator here in this formula, and when we divide 13875 by 14770, we get a value of 0.939375, which basically means that variable x and variable y are having a good strength of correlation of 0.94 approximately. So here the coefficient correlation formula, which can be determined by dividing the covariance by the product of the two variables standard deviation, which I had explained earlier. This is a simple Another way of putting it, correlation between x and y equals to covariance between x and y divided by under root of variance x and then multiplied by variance y here. Now let's understand the difference between covariance and coefficient of correlation, because sometimes people get confused between these two terms. Both the terms measures the relationship between the two variables. So both help in determining the dependency of two variables, how they are dependent on each other. However, covariance indicates the direction of the linear relationship between the variables. Using covariance, we can only gauge the direction of relationship, not the strength or degree of relationship. So it does not indicate the strength of the relationship nor the dependency between the variables. However, correlation measures both the strength and directions of the relationship between the two variables. So correlation is a scaled measure of covariance and it is dimensionless. In other words, we can say that the correlation coefficient is always a pure value and not measured by any units, whereas covariance is measured by unit. Thank you very much. I have some more videos related to financial management and statistical concepts, so you can refer to those to understand other financial management related topics. Thank you.